Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing We're Gonna Need a Bigger Boat. So, Willpower sort of got in touch, and I think essentially he was, comparing notes in terms of various puzzles I've solved, as well as bringing to my attention a few puzzles that he's actually got that haven't really received the kind of attention that they deserve. Now, one in particular caught my eye, which is We're Gonna Need a Bigger Boat, for one main reason. Essentially, it's a 2-star difficulty rated puzzle, but Will actually disagrees with the rating and thinks it's a 1-star difficulty rated puzzle, which is brilliant for a late night puzzle, I guess, on a Sunday. So it's a good way of winding down from a difficult set of puzzles for a weekend. But, we still have Sunday, hopefully a clear head after a lovely weekend for all of you, to actually be able to solve something that's a little bit harder than usual. So, in terms of the title, you can see Sleuth here, and the thumbnail, you can see him swimming away from probably a ship that capsized. A whole bunch of them, though, managed to get on a lifeboat, which is clearly not big enough to be able to even pick him up out of the water. Fingers crossed, they will be able to find a space. Sleuth will be picked up, and they're not going to drown, and this particular puzzle is not going to drown us, or frankly, anybody else on this lifeboat. Let's take a look at the rule sets and today's puzzle. So, classic Stickman figure from Willpower here. You've got essentially what looks like one person that's swimming, almost like front crawl there, with a boat in that grey outline, I guess sort of swimming forwards. I'm not entirely sure I get what the red part would be. Almost like a bridge or something. Not entirely sure. Hang on. That could be almost like a rubber dinghy, and that's the inside of the boat, and that's essentially the side of the boat. Well, that's the way I'm interpreting the diagram. Let's take a look at the rule sets. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. We're all familiar with that. Then we have RENBAN. So numbers on purple lines are each a set of non-repeating consecutive numbers in any order. So, for example, they're quite long RENBAN, so I'm a little bit worried that if I start to explain this, it will actually partially solve the puzzle. So let's imagine that this is a 3-cell RENBAN. Think of it as purple, just the same as this one. If I happen to have a 1 in here, these would have to be 2, 3. They have to be essentially a set of consecutive digits without repeats. They don't have to be in order, so that could be 2, 3, 1. That would be absolutely fine. What I couldn't do is remove the 3 and put in a 4. They're no longer consecutive. So that's that rule set. Then we have the entropy lines. So each continuous set of 3 numbers on the red line contains one low digit, as in 1 to 3, one medium digit, as in 4 to 6, and one high digit, as in 7 to 9. So these cells here on this red line, essentially, if I use colors, you're going to have a blue, a medium, and a high. I'm not sure that it's precious about the order, so I'm kind of going to assume, at least for my solve, that it could be low, high, medium. That's going to be fine. And then the pattern has to repeat, because essentially any set of 3 cells must have one of each. And just for the avoidance of doubt with these colors, I'm just assuming as follows. Yellow is middle, blue is low, and red is high. But essentially the next 3 set now need to include all 3. So that one would have to be a blue. And you end up repeating this entire pattern over and over again. Right, that's the entropy line. Then we've got KROPKIs. So KROPKI pairs, where do we have that language? Number with a white dot between them are consecutives. So I can only see one set of these. So if this is a 1, this would have to be a 2 to be consecutive. If that's a 2, that could be a 3 as well. So as long as they are essentially 1 apart, you're good to go. Then we have the black dot. Between them are in a ratio of 2 to 1. We've got so many of these, we're spoiled for choice. If that was a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4. As long as one cell is double the other, you're also good to go. Will is explicitly saying not all possible dots are given, so that 2 having a 4 next to it, for example, that is not a problem, even though there is no black dot between them and they are clearly in a 2 to 1 ratio. That being a 1 doesn't require a white dot either. So what else do we have? not all possible logic. Killer numbers, killer. So numbers in cages sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. So these two cells have to add up to 11. If that was a 2, this would have to be a 9. If that was a 3, this would have to be a 4 to add up to 7, 12, and 11. Then last but not least, cells with this gray square are even. I can see 4 of these. All of these have to be even digits, so they are either 2, 4, 6, or 8. Clearly one of these is going to be correct. So, only thing left to say is, if you want to rescue Sleuth, you've got a bigger boat, you can fetch him out of the ocean. Link will be in the description down below as usual for you to play along. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock, see how I get on. Right. And something that I should have remarked about before I started the solve is there is no explanation for the gray line. So I'm assuming this is there purely for aesthetics and actually has no implication whatsoever for the solve itself. So my classic opening move, because I'm not seeing anything else, is that whenever you have 3 cells, 3 unique cells, mind you, of connected with black KROPKI dots, you know that the center digit will have to be 2 or 4. And you know that because if you think about black KROPKI dots and you think about all the sets that they could have, there's essentially 2 sets that are valid, kind of powers of 2, and then the 3 and 6. If you have 3 of them, well, 3 and 6 is never going to work because you'd end up repeating one of them, because there's only 2 and you need 3. So you end up with either a 1, 2, 4 or a 2, 4, 8 run, and the 2 and 4 clearly has to be in the middle. Now, what I think is interesting is down here is that we know that all of these are of different entropy. So I'm pretty sure that's a 4 with a 2, 8. Pretty sure that's correct. Yeah, because I need to have low, medium, and high, or again, it doesn't matter what the order is, but all 3 cells have to be of a different entropy. And if I pick 1, 2, 4, well, the 1 and 2 are clearly going to be from the low set. So that is indeed 4. These two are indeed 2, 8. This doesn't include so that is a 3, 6. And I know that because the only way that this would have worked, because without a 4, my options are 1 and 2. However, they're both low, and they're both adjacent to one another, and they can't be on this entropy line. They have to be of different kind of groups. So this is 3, 6. And we can probably start to use some colors. I'm going to use yellow for middle. And essentially, every third cell we know is going to be the same. Every third cell, every third cell. So that's the 6. No, 1, 2, so that doesn't matter. This is low, therefore this is high, back to low, and then we can color the entire thing. So red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Hopefully I haven't made a mistake this early on because that would be embarrassing. Not impossible, embarrassing nevertheless. Right, that gives me 2, that gives me 8. We've got digits. Took us about 3 minutes. Doesn't matter. Oh, hang on, I've got more digits. 3 and 6, of course. That was the whole point of this. Right, we've got quite a few digits. Frankly, I'm not seeing how it helps us with the rest of the grid at all, other than via Sudoku. I mean, even this group here, I have no idea what it is. No, I do. I do. This is not 2, 4, 8. This is 1, 2, 4 because of the even squares. So if I do something like 2, 4, 8, got 3 even digits, 4 even digits, 5 even digits. That doesn't work. There's only 4 of them between the digits 1 to 9. So that is a 2. This is 1, 4. This is 1, 4. And these are 6 and 8. And then everything else that we have in here, excuse me, these are going to be odd digits because we placed all the evens. We placed the 4, the 2, the 6, and the 8. which isn't very helpful. It just tells us there isn't a 2 in the 12th gauge. I mean, we knew that. I know we can pencil mark a lot of these, but I'm not seeing the value of it. You know, this is 7, 9, this is 3, 5, sorry, 5, 6, this is 1, 3. But they're not even lining up anywhere, so I'm really not sure about that. That is a 3. That's a freebie, because 1 and 2 are already gone, so that's a 3. Yeah, 3 is not that interesting yet. So, goodness me, you need to almost have multiple break-ins to be able to make progress. So it's time for us to think about the RENBANs on top, it seems. Cages are still not that interesting unless I'm missing something obvious. And I don't think I am. Right, so RENBANs. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 RENBAN. Doesn't matter, that's all the digits 1 to 9 once each. Not very useful. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That is more interesting because of the black KROPKI dots as well. In fact, here's a few things. Excuse me. So, kind of like a trick whenever you come across a white KROPKI dot is you always have to remember that one cell is even and one cell is odd. You can't have 2 consecutive digits that are both odd or they're both even. So one option is this is a 1-2 pair, which is frankly impossible with the black KROPKI dots that we have, because if that's a 1, that would be a 2. What is this cell now other than a 2? And it breaks Sudoku rule sets as a result. I've got the door open and now a B has come in. Lovely. Right, so this is not a 2. This is definitely a 3 with either a 2 or a 4 to be consecutive. And therefore one of these cells is a 6. If you hear my dog barking, you know why. This is going to really distract me and ruin my solve, but let's keep going. And this RENBAN is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, let's think about this. What is this saying? I think I know what it's saying. So this is not 3 or 6 because it's occupied by one of these. And which... I mean, I could do 2, 4, can't I? I could still put 1 or 8 in here. No, that can't be 2, 4. Yeah, how am I thinking about this? So this cannot be 2, 4, because that would force this to be 3, 6. And then what would this cell be? And whether it's 1 or 8, that can't be 2 or 4 because I've already placed it in here. Let's keep that thought experiment going for a second. Can any of these be 2, 4? So 2, 4, 3, 6. That would be 1, 8. That would be 2, 4. I think that's possible. No, here's... come on, Sleuth. You know, here's a much better way of thinking about this. Forget these for a second because they're not complete pencil marks. Now, the question to ask here is, this is a 7-cell RENBAN, which means that even if I start at 1, it will go all the way up to 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And obviously if I start at 9, it will go all the way down to 3. The important reason I'm sort of bringing this up is 2 numbers, the 5 and the 7, are in that list regardless of what is the composition of this RENBAN. And neither of them are black KROPKI dots. So 5 and 7 can't be here, can't be there, can't be there, can't be there, can't be there. The only place for the 5 and 7 is in here. Right, we're definitely getting somewhere now. So, can I force this at all? I'm just trying to think. We know this is not 3 or 6. We know this is from 1, 2, 4, and 8. I know that one of the 2 or 4s is gone in here. Sleuth, you just need to pay attention. Look at row 1. This is an extreme black KROPKI dot. Right. Right. Okay. So we're essentially playing with 2 sets. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 4, 8. And you need them as such a set because I need one of each up here in row 1. Now, whichever one I pick, if I do end up mixing something like 2 and 4, well, 2 and 4, 3 and 6, what would this one be? So I'm actually going to use colors for a second. I'm going to use something different from blue, yellow, and red because I think we can probably color these. And I'm going to remove whatever this is for a second. Just humor me. So this is, I'm just going to pick a random color, purple. This is green, and this is orange. Now, lovely. This is orange because it's on a RENBAN. So we know it's not green, it's in the same box. We also know it's not purple because I've already used the purple cell on the RENBAN. So neither of these could be this cell. And remember, there is 0 overlap between these 3 sets because of the setup in row 1. So this is orange. Now I have purple and orange looking at this setup. This is a green set. I'm actually going to assume that this is almost certainly going to be green. Actually, better yet, orange means these are orange. Because, you know, orange doesn't contain 5 or 7. This is a 9, because it's the only cells that are not part of the black KROPKI dot sets. These are 5 7s. And now I need to think about what this is. I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, this is not orange. Green, you can see, has to be somewhere in here. I need to put 2 of green in there. Just because of Sudoku. Now, if I don't know what green is, because if it is 3, 6, it's obviously going to be this. But if it is 1, 2, 4, 8, I could still potentially borrow something from the purple. So I'm not yet at a position to confirm that this is definitely green. I can tell you it is definitely not purple, because you see, even if purple is trying to avoid row 3 in box 2, I can only put 1 purple cell in here, not 2. The second one will be down there, and it will break purple for this set. So it definitely includes at least 1 orange. It might be both oranges. All right, let's see if we can just now correctly fully pencil mark this. So if that's a 2, that would be a 1. If that's a 4, that would be 8. And if it's a 3, it's a 6. So this is 1, 6, 8. And remember, they are extreme digits. So I can't have 2 and 4 or 4 and 2. Whichever one is the 2, 4, it's 1 or 8. Is that helping me at all? I may need to delete this before it confuses me. It'd be very helpful if this is green. I just don't know how to prove it just yet. RENBAN, Sleuth, just keep remembering the RENBAN, forget Sudoku for a second. This is a 9-cell RENBAN, so it includes all of the digits 1 to 9 once each. Now, where does green go on that RENBAN? Well, it's not in the same box, it's not in the same row. That's green. Now, the reason I thought this might be helpful is we can start to do some very interesting tricks now. We know that one of orange and green is 3 and 6. And take a look at this 3, 6 at the bottom. It actually tells us the direction. So one of these is 6. Sorry, one of these is a 3, one of these is a 6. And we know that they're in this order, which places a 3 inside the 7 cage. Take a look at Sudoku. No 3s, no 3s on an even square. That's a 3, that's a 4. Wow. I mean, we know that one of these is a 6 now, kind of same logic. Not as interesting as the 3, 4. That was quite helpful. Does it help me with the 11 cage? Probably. So now I'm left with, I can't do 3, 8, I can't do 4, 7, I can do 5, 6, or 2, 9. So I can actually pencil mark this. This is 2, 9, or 5, 6, and the direction is not yet known for 5 and 6. I mean, 5 and 6 would put 5 and 7 would line up. That would put a 5 in here. Yeah, possible. It's a fascinating puzzle. I'll let it be known now, though, Will, this is not a 1-star difficulty puzzle. Unless I'm missing so many things, this just doesn't feel like a 1-star difficulty puzzle so far. Right, so we know that this is not 3, 6. This is not 2 or 4. So this is 1, 8. This is the other 2, 4. So at this point, and hang on, we've placed 5, 7. We don't have a 9 on this cage, and we have the 2 for sure. We placed the 7, and hang on, have we placed the 8? No, the irony is the 1 or 8 is essentially the extra. So we don't have a 9, so it's either 1 through to 7 or it's 2 through to 8. And essentially it's that digit that is missing from this RENBAN plus the 9. Ironic. I'd love to know the composition of these. I just don't know how to do so. What am I missing? Do any of these help me identify which one is the 3? I mean, potentially, you know, for example, this is 1, 3, and this is 1, 3 as well, because of this 2 eliminating the 2 from both. So one of these is a 3. Potentially this can help me eliminate it, but I don't see how, if I'm honest. That's a 1 that would make this a 3, for example, and that would remove the 3, and that would start to force a whole lot of this puzzle. Again, I'm not seeing it. So where is purple on the RENBAN? Is that the question to ask next? So essentially I have purple and 5, 7, 9. Now thankfully 5, 7, 9, there's no combination that adds up to 11. Yes, that's a fair statement. And whichever one of the black KROPKI dots, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 6, 2, 4, or 4, 8, none of them add up to 11. So essentially I have one of these purple cells in here, and purple is 1, 2, 4, 8. Yeah, I mean, I knew it wasn't 3, 6 because one of these is 3, 6. Don't know which. So this could be, goodness me, 2, 9 is a possibility. 3, 8 is not. 4, 7 is. And then 5, 6 is not, because again, the 3 and the 6 are somewhere in here. So it is fairly limited, just not that limited. Nine, 2 would put 5, 7, another 5, 9, 2, put a second 5, 7, a 1. Hang on, 9, 2 would break, doesn't it? Yes, 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 yes. this 5, 7 is not in here. And it's not in the black KROPKI dots. It's inside the 11 cage. And neither of them are, as you can see, 5 is not an option because it would go with a 6, which these can't be. It's not allowing it. So this is a 7. This is a 5. There is a 7 in here, which makes this a 4-7 pair. And then the rest of this now, to actually make sure that it does cover the remaining digits. So if that's 4-7, this is a 4. That's a 4. That's an 8. These are not 4-8 anymore. Neither of them are, in fact. And to complete this now, I need the remaining digits, which are, I'm guessing, 1, 5, and 9. No, not 1. Yeah, whichever one is the 1, 2 is hiding in here with the 3, 6. So, pardon me, it's the 8, 9, and 5. So 5, 8, 9, plus whatever this digit is, 4. Yeah, because it's on the RENBAN, but not anywhere else in the row. Wow, this is very involved. 4, 7 gives me a 5 up here. I mean, that was there for the taking. That's 5, that's 7. This is whatever this digit is, presumably, because essentially we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and then we need a triplet of 5, 8, 9, and it's not a 5. This is 8 or 9, making one of these for sure a 5. I mean, 5 was already in the box, removing itself. Then this is probably the other 8, 9, yes, because we need it in the row. You know, we're inching slowly to try and figure out which one is the 2, 1, 2, and the 3, 6, but never quite closing. Right. What is it time to think about the 12 cage, the 11 cage, the 11 cage? Yep, I can remove a 5, 6 option. The 2, 5, 6, 9 is still on the table. Right, let me just pencil mark these for a second. 7, 9. Where does 4 go in box 4? That's placed. So that's all the even digits done, because essentially there's an even digit in the 11, these two evens, these evens, so essentially all the rest now are odd digits. I think I've got it. Sorry, I'm just looking at column 3 and I'm thinking I've got it. No, I don't think I have it. I was thinking that this is a 6, but... Right, come on, Sleuth. We know that these are from 1, 2, 3, and 6. These are odd. Yeah, nothing stopped this from being a 6. I can still have a 5 stuffed somewhere in here. No, I haven't got it. Rewind. I mean, 8s, they're forced into one of these 2 cages. 9 is definitely in one of these 3 cells. That's a 7. Making this 8 or... I am going to just start to pencil mark these. I mean, there's no point resisting this. It's hopefully going to help, but I haven't got a clue. Where is this going? This is not 4, but it could be 5 or 6. This is, well, anything. As is this. Still doing it. Goes against my instinct. Maybe I should pencil mark this green. I don't know why I should, but maybe. You see, if it is 2, 1, it's in this direction. So one of these cells is a 2. That's one way of looking at it. And one of these cells is a 1. Does 2 help? I'm really clutching at straws now. 2 is in one of these 2 cells. Yeah, not very helpful. 2 in here. Not very helpful again. No, not helpful. Maybe I do need to pencil mark the rest of this. So we've got the 2, 4, and 8. And essentially the 6 is in one of these 2 cells. That's the way to think about it. We'll play around with that for a second. But remember, we need all the rest in this box are now odd digits because we've placed all the even digits between these. So this is not 7, not 5. This is 1, 3, or 9. This is not a 1, and this is not a 3. But we do know that there is a 9 somewhere in here. I don't know if I want to keep the corner pencil marks. And these 2 are, they're just not 9. It's got to have a 7. Where else is 7 going to go? So 7 is in here, joined by either 1, 3, 5, or 7. It's a lot of options. Again, not a 1. Again, not a 3. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the 5th. So other than the 7s being here, the 9s being here, the 1s are split. The 3s are not. Not that that's particularly useful. And the 5s are split again. And this is just not a 4, but it could be 2, 6, or 8. So this is, right, so time to maybe play a little bit with these 6s. What does it do? Such as there is a triplet in here of 1, 6, 9. That's a 3. That's not a 3. Wasn't quite the big revelation I was hoping for. It doesn't actually seem to help at all. Can I break it by trying some of these? I mean, clearly 2 is now in one of these cells. There is, because there's no other 2 in the column. Which means 1 is in one of these cells. Sorry, I'm just having a look. I mean, I haven't looked at the 12 gauge, so maybe this is what I should be thinking about next, and I haven't. So technically this can be 3, 9. It would have to be in this order. Technically this could be 4, 8. It would have to be in that order. Can even be 5, 7. I'm not seeing the issue with that right now. Seems like a ton of options again. Right, where does 7 go in box 9? That's a 7. And essentially in here I have a 1, 2, an 8, 9, and the 4, 5. So the 8, 9, whichever one this is, sorry, whichever one this is not, these 2 are essentially the same, is what I'm trying to say. Then I have 4, 5, and 1, 2 that go in here. 4, if 4 is there, 4 is there. Just Sudoku, Sleuth, come on, just a bit of that. So this is 5 with 1, 2, and 8, 9. 8, 9 means that's not an 8, that's a 6. That's got to be a 2. Let me just pencil mark this to show you. So there's an 8, 9. I'm going to do something silly where essentially I'm going to write out the remaining digits. So there's an 8, 9, there's a 5, there's a 1, 2. Now take a look at this entire setup. Where would 1 go? Well, it has to be in here because this is even. So that's 1, and that's the only place that's left for a 2. Did I do this correctly? Excuse me, that's what I meant to do. 2. This doesn't help me with my 1-3s. Still hasn't helped me with my 1-3s. And then these are including 1 and 5 and an 8-9. Do I keep going? More 5-8-9s, it seems. Just completing this. Hang on. Hang on. Remember, this is... So, I could actually do better now. This is 2-6. This is 1-3 now that we place this 2. So I have another 5-8-9 with a 1 and 7. And then a 5-8-9, which is still not confirmed what it is. It's a fascinating puzzle. Not an easy puzzle for sure. That 6 gives me an 8. That was there ages ago. Does that 8 help me in any way? Nope. 2, 4, 8. That's a 6. Finally. Am I actually going to get to resolve these 6s? Yes. 1, 6, 3. Therefore, this is 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't actually know the order of these, but okay. 1, 2, 6, 3. 2, 1. How do I not know these? Just going to write in 3, 6, pencil mark them in for now. This is not a 1. It's a 5, 7 pair. They're not resolved. That 8 removes an 8 from here. In fact, we're... Oh, hang on. I can't have another 5, 9 in there. It's not a 1. In fact, it has to be a 7. There's... No, it doesn't. It's 5, 7, 9. I know what these 3 cells are, so I actually can fill in the rest. This is a 6. This is a 1. Don't know why I had a 1 corner pencil mark in there. This is unknown still. These, however, are now 5, 9, and 3. Not a 3. That's the extent of the eliminations. Not a 7. Not a 6, that's a 5. That removes 5, 7 from here. That was a few of the options. Right, surely this is somehow resolvable. 4 is gone. This is 9, 3. That gives me 6, 3. These must be now known. They include a second 4, 7 and an 8, I'm going to say, which is like stunningly not resolved. No, I didn't say 5, 7. I said 4, 7. That's not a 4. That is not a 7. That is an 8. Right. I mean, I'm just sorry about this. It's probably a little bit frustrating to watch where I'm almost like discovering things rather than systematically playing Sudoku. This is a 5-8 pair. Can we resolve these? No. Can I resolve this? Yes, that's a 9. This is now 1, 5, 8. We know where the 8 goes. That's an 8. This is a 1, 5 pair. In fact, that 3 gives me a 1, a 5, a 1, a 9, a 5, a 3. Right, we're finding our feet now. Really put me off balance, this entire puzzle. I'm not entirely sure why. There's no good reason for it. But it certainly has. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Where do I have a 5? It can only be in here. I need 6 and 7. This is a 6. This is a 7. Does that 6 and 7 help me resolve anything? It gives me a 9 in here. That is, in fact, not a 1. This is 7 and 8. The 7 here tells me that's the 7, that's the 8. That 8 helps me resolve these 5 8s at the top. This is now a 9. This is 5 or... no, it's not a 7 or a 9, it's a 5. That's 7, that's 5. This has to be a 1, if I trust my pencil marks. And then I have 6, which can only be in here, a 7, which could only be in here, 1, and if I've not made any mistakes, a 4 for the finish. Yeah, well, it's definitely a 2-star difficulty rated puzzle. I mean, I admit I was a bit slow in some of the Sudoku, as I frequently am, to be fair. But I don't know if this was necessary as part of the solution path. It'll be very interesting to see your comments if this is required. So, having to spot that these are different, coloring them in, seeing that the purple is in here. I mean, the break-in was pretty straightforward, so I think this would be universally the same. The 1, 2, 4 forced by the even squares. But there was a lot of hard deductions to be able to progress this. So, hope that you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading your comments. What would I recommend based on that? I mean, there's quite a few willpower puzzles on the channel, and they're all, not all, many of them have these Stickman-like figures, so they're just always immensely enjoyable when you have, a diagram in a 9x9 square. That's it for now. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.